Well, hi there and welcome along to episode 9 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David, Jennings and Gavin Lynch. Gavin, I'm knackered, I'm fat, I'm partied out. Christmas was too good to me. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, it was good. A couple of days down in Mayo with the outlaws.
In-laws.
In-laws. Nice people, lots of food, and we had a night in Galway. Love Galway. So.
Tell me this, did Santi come to the Lynch household?
He did. The girls got spoiled rotten as always. So yeah, it was good.
And was Santi good to you on the winners front?
Just about got out. What do you call it? The horse of Dermot Wells, Dalton Highway.
Dalton Highway.
Only for him now, I would have had a bad Christmas. But anyway, he saved the day.
Under the brilliant Jack Kennedy.
Yeah.
And we're going to be hearing all about Christmas later on in the show. As always, we're going to kick off with our questions from the crowd. And the first question this week comes from Paul Carter. And Paul wants to know, David Samcro, please tell me you've given up on the love of your life. Well, Paul, you know I'm the forgiving type. I give everybody 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 chances. But we're done. We've
Finished.
officially split up. We're allowed to see other people. It's over. Me and Samcro
You can go and see other horses.
Like, perhaps Fahim produced an exceptional performance, maybe. And I know there was a long gap back to Castlebrook in third, but he's just not finishing out his races.
No, he's back to what he was last season. Last season he travelled well, 2 or 3 out and then nothing. In Down Royal, great. Fairyhouse, probably great. Obviously we didn't get to see the end of the race, but Limerick, travel grand and then just nothing again. So there's obviously a problem there.
There is a problem, yeah, and we have a problem. Me and Samcro are officially over. That's it. I can't do it anymore.
Done.
I still secretly love him, but there comes a time in life when you just have to let go, Gavin.
Yeah.
When you know you're not good for each other.
Like, I think he's still 8-1 for the Marsh Chase as it is now. Couldn't back with that at any price, to be honest.
No, we couldn't. There we go. Sorry, Samcro. It's over. Next question comes in from Callum Collier, and he wants to know about Clandazobo. He's wondering, why is Clandazobo not a red-hot favourite for the Cheltenham Gold Cup after his King George romp? And there's a lot of people asking me the same question. This looks like a different Clandazobo this year.
Not really. He was impressive last year in the same race. The reason is the left-handed, right-handed thing that crops up a lot in racing. He's lost his last 5 races going left-handed, and he's won 3 out of his last 4 going right-handed. So that's why. He's 6 or 7-1 for the Gold Cup. I couldn't have him anyway.
I could.
I couldn't.
And I'll tell you why.
Unless they give him a break between now and March.
He's a young horse.
Okay.
He's with the best trainer of staying chasers there is. Like, I know, obviously, the left-handed record, but he basically won the Dipper a few years ago. He was caught right on the line. He does handle Cheltenham. He ran a lovely race in the Gold Cup last year. Stronger.
Why didn't he win the Gold Cup?
Because he was a young, immature...
He'd won with King George. He wasn't that young or immature.
Yeah, but he was more impressive in the King George this year. Another year on his side with Paul Nicholls, training him with the Gold Cup in mind. Knowing with top of the game out, this is his only Gold Cup contender. I think Clandazobo could do it at Cheltenham.
I won't back him anyway.
Okay, I will. There you go. We agree to disagree about Clandazobo. Hope that was somewhat enlightening, Callum. And the final question this week comes from John Farrell. And it's forgiveness seems to be the theme of the day, Gavin. John Farrell wants to know, would we be willing to give Classical Dream another chance?
I'm going to give you a yes and a no. No over 2 miles. I have a big theory that he needs a lot further.
Really?
Yeah, because as a 3-year-old, if you go back through his form in France, he ran at a very high level as a 3-year-old. They were over 2-2 in Auteuil, which is soft ground. I know they go a bit slower in France early on, but still, I think that his jumping comes under too much pressure over 2 miles. You saw him the other day. He done the same in the Morgian at the first hurdle where he launched at it. He done the same in Leopardstown first down the back. I think that he needs very soft ground. I think he needs at least 2.5 miles. If he doesn't go chasing next year, I could see him in a stairs hurdle. And it also points to how brilliant Ruby Walsh was when he could get him to win the Supreme. But I think he's a stayer, and I think his jumping just doesn't hold up over 2 miles.
10-1 with Bet365 for the champion hurdle. Value, not value?
No, unless the ground come up very, very, very soft, as in heavy, I couldn't have him, no.
No, me neither. Classical Dream is
What do you think about him being a stayer?
Yeah, I can see your point. Things are just happening a bit too quick. You have to jump slicker. You have to travel better.
I think the entry hurdle could suit him if the ground was soft. 2.5 miles.
But as we know, Gavin, this is all about Cheltenham.
It is.
So right now, 10-1 Classical Dream for the champion hurdle.
No.
Me and Gavin are not taking it. So now, folks, it's time for the week that was. And what a week it has been, Gavin. Cheltenham, it's the busiest time of the year.
Yes.
It's the greatest time of the year apart from Cheltenham. Take it away.
It should be the 4 days that was, because we've just from the 26th to the 30th, but there's a lot to get through, so we'll go through it as quick as we can.
Take it away.
Slade House, won in Kempton on the 26th. There's now 8-1 for the RSA. It jumped better than it had been jumping, I would have said.
Would he have won if my beloved Master Tommy Tucker didn't fall?
I would have said so. I think he won more snug than maybe the 1.5 lengths would suggest. Okay. Then we're on to Epatante. She was very, very good in the Christmas hurdle at Kempton.
I love her.
Yeah, she's very good. Yeah. You gave her a big plug about 6 weeks ago.
I did, yeah. Unfortunately, didn't pick her at that stage. She was about 25-1 for the champion hurdle.
Yeah, so
now
she won by
5-2.
5-2 favourite. Yeah, she won by 5 lengths. And don't forget, she gets the £7 in March, so that's quite important.
And she is slick over her hurdles.
She is. She's very, very quick. Yeah. One little thing would be that she ran bad at Cheltenham. I know you're saying about the.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
Flat tracks.
She had her flu injection. Don't worry.
See.
No, don't worry. She'll be fine.
Then we mentioned Clandazobo, lost in translation, surname. Lost in translation, where do you go from there?
Nah, he didn't. There's something wrong.
He lunged at the fourth last and he kind of pulled him up then.
Yeah, he's
better than that, obviously.
No.
Then we're on to Leopardstown, Aspire Tower, one of your selections. Was impressive in the 3-year-old hurdle. Is now 7-1 for the Triumph hurdle. Notebook, who you slagged me about when I said it was a brilliant jumper.
I know. You said it was the best novice jumper you've seen, and it's
to jump a fence
like that. Yeah.
To jump a fence, it's a fantastic jumper. Fakir Dudery was second. One thing to point out: the Fakir Dudery won't be getting the £7 in March, so just to allow for that.
And you tipped this horse obviously for Cheltenham.
Yeah,
looks like it's probably going to go for the Racing Post Arkle. Are you happier now after Christmas than you were before Christmas?
No, I thought it'd be better than that. The one thing I'll say is that I think they got the tactics slightly wrong.
Yes, I'd agree.
If the front runner, here's one for you. If the front runner had won, it could have been Jingle all the way. Do you like that at Christmas?
Gavin, that's absolutely terrible.
Anyway, I think that in the Arkle...
It's the worst daddy joke I've ever heard.
They're going to have to make the run-in with Fakir Dudery in the Arkle.
Okay.
I'll let him stride on and use his brilliant jumper.
Okay. I just wish I had a thought.
Easy Work beat Unacceptable, one of my tips.
Probably the most underrated horse in training, Easy Work. Yeah. Jamie Codd is in love with this horse.
Is he?
Yes.
It beat Mount Leinster, who bolted up in Leopardstown as well, so the form was quite good.
And did it beat a horse that Gavin Lynch tipped up for the Supreme Novice Hurdle?
Yeah, it did. Now that was 2.5, so I'm holding on to the fact that maybe it didn't stay.
You're holding on to nothing.
Holding on to nothing, I'd say you're right. But I think Unaccepted's better than that. It's a half put.
I'd say up onto the home turn, you were thinking this is blissful.
Yeah, I thought it was going to win. I backed it anyway.
Yeah.
Could have bought a horse if I had on it. Faugheen, obviously we mentioned beating Sam Cross. That was exceptional. And a great day for the crowd, great day for Limerick. Probably the best race that you have seen maybe there.
And it was just brilliantly, like it set up brilliantly. The two of them side by side turned into the home straight. Yeah. Unfortunately, Sam Crow did what Sam Crow does. He let everybody down, but it just bubbled up so nicely.
Yeah, I don't know where Fagheen's going to go myself. I think whether he goes for now called the Marsh Chase, the RSA, and I'd even give him a small chance of appearing in the National Hunt Chase with Patrick again. But
whoa, that would be interesting.
So I don't know, where do you think he'll go?
If I was to guess at the moment, I'd say RSA.
Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it? On the 27th then, Bundoran won a Grade 2 over in Kempton to beat Duke de Geneva, but that won't win the championship. All Mankind, a horse I like, is now 7-1 joint favourite for the Triumph. Having won very easy at Chepstow.
I think I got him wrong. I had serious question marks. I thought he's a bit of a headbanger, goes way off out in front, and thought he might be found out at Chepstow, and he was brilliant.
We're going to chat about the Triumph in a while, so we'll chat about him then. Leopardstown, one of my horses, A Plutard beat Chac-and-Pour Soir. That was a big shot.
Well done, my son. That was a fantastic pick.
Yeah, 16s then. It's 6-1 now for the Ryanair. It's also going to be entered for the champion chase. I don't think it'll run the champion chase unless the ground came up soft to heavy.
No, it'll go for the Ryanair.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Chac-and-Pour Soir was disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I think next time, possibly in the Dublin Chase at the Dublin Racing Festival, I think you'll see Townend go out and bang, try and make all, use his jumping, get others under pressure.
Duty did
just what, like stuff. The era of invincibility is gone with Chac-and-Pour Soir, but I still think he is potential star.
Well, a lot of Willies got beat over the Christmas. Yeah. And he was one of the ones maybe they thought he'd win, but it got beaten anyway. Abracadabras won the Grade 1 novice hurdle by 8 lengths. I don't think it was an amazing performance. It beat the mare, Heaven Help Us, by 8 lengths, giving it £7. It's now 7-2 for the Supreme. I think that's too short. Like, it'll be bigger than that on the day, I think.
If you remember this time, back through the years, like, what price was Duvan at this stage? He was probably 7-2. Like, he's not a Duvan.
No, he's not. I don't know. I think that price is too short. Blue Sari ran no race. A nice horse won the bumper call, Appreciate It. I thought that was very, very good. It won by 6 lengths. In Limerick, one of your horses, Fury Road, one that you liked, the Albert Bartlett.
Lovely jumper apart from the last.
Apart from the last. Made a bad mistake, won by a length. I Still don't know whether that'll win the Bartle, but we'll see.
I think he's got a great chance.
Colreevy showed that she was back to her best when she won the Mayor's Maiden Hurdle quite easy. I thought that she was good. She was a very good bumper horse. She actually beat Abigail Dabras one day last
That's
year.
right.
On to Saturday the 28th. Time Hill won the Grade 1 Shallow Hurdle.
Lovely. That's Time Hill for you. I'm delighted he wasn't 10 lengths winning this. That's what he does. He idles. He's awkward. Brilliant.
I tipped him
love
up for the Bartlett. I think he'll probably go there because he just won't beat Envoy Allen.
Yeah, but again, Allen now has to go out and do it in
does.
Naas, and
Yeah.
I think he's rock solid for the Ballymore.
A horse that we probably had cast on one side, Apple's Jade, showed that she was back to something like her best.
Yeah, but Gavin, this is a Cheltenham show, and is Applejay going to be winning the Cheltenham?
Probably not, but Michael O'Leary said she mightn't even go there, but I don't know, I'd say she'd probably end up there.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. It's the one horse I gave absolutely no chance
Yeah.
on the day, and I was absolutely thrilled.
I backed Bacardi's in the race. Then on to the Savills Chase, Delta Work, Monolly, Road to Respect, Kenboy, Present and Percy, discuss.
Right, the race is on next week. Who wins?
Next week, in 3 weeks, we'll say I'd probably go for Kenboy. The only thing is, it wasn't mad about his jumping. He was awkward,
Yeah.
and he was jumping to his right and didn't scream a Gold Cup winner, did it?
No, it's funny. I was disappointed with presenting Percy, but I just think the way the race panned out. I know Delta Work came from where he did, but I just never thought Davy Russell was in the right place at any stage during the race.
I'm presenting Percy.
I'm presenting Percy.
No,
and he never really got to get him into full stride after the last because it was so tight on the rail.
I just thought it was a bad ride. I'm not saying it would have won.
Yeah.
But he definitely should have been in the first three, I would have thought.
Yeah.
But you still thought after the last that it was going to pick up more than it did.
Is he turning into a little bit of a Sam Crowish type where we're making excuses all the time for presenting Percy?
Yeah, he'd want to show a lot more before Cheltenham.
Yeah. I still think he's a very good horse.
I was there that day on the 28th. The atmosphere was amazing, a huge crowd.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was a great finish.
Yeah.
On to Sunday the 29th. Stormy Ireland was good. She won the Mayor's Conditions Hurdle by 5.5 lengths.
I think she is rock solid each way material for the Mayor's Hurdle. I think she'll be 5 lengths clear turning in. She mightn't win, but I think she'll finish in the first 3.
She seems to be getting a bit more calm in the way she races now, so I'd agree with you.
Jumps brilliant, travels great, ran a cracker Cheltenham before. I think, I think she's underrated.
I do too, yeah. Battle Over Diane beat Champagne Classic by a length in the 3-horse race. Battle Over Diane is now 13-2 for the RSA, and Champagne Classic, the one that you picked for the National Hunt Chase, is 7-1, so that was a good pick. The only thing is, they will probably go in those races. Battle Over Diane will probably go for the RSA, but I'd actually, if I owned him, I'd run him in the National Hunt Chase, and I'd run Champagne Classic
don't be doing
in the RSA.
that to me.
I would.
Would you?
I think Champagne Classic wasn't fit. I think that it's got more gears, and I think Battle Over Diane is just a stare, and I think he'd win the National
Now,
Hunt
Michael
Chase.
O'Leary told me he watches this show.
Does he?
He does watch this show. So, Michael, if you're listening, don't listen to
Just
Gavin.
ignore me.
Champagne Classic, 3-mile sixer, Battle Over Diane, RSA. Lovely stuff. Forget about it.
I'd switch them. We're on to the Grade 1 hurdle. Well done again. Sharjah. Horse
33-1, you little daisy.
he's now 7-1 for
Now
the champion hurdle.
7-1 with Bet365 for the champion hurdle, tipped up by Mr. David Jennings at 33-1.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks.
The time of the race was 3:48, so the ground on the first day, Leopardstown started out kind of soft to heavy, and within a few days, it was literally good ground. 3:48 is a very fast time. So I'd worry about the Tuesday at Cheltenham that the ground's going to be too soft for Sharjah. I'd be interested. I'd say Patrick might keep the ride, would he?
Yeah, Patrick will keep the ride. And I just think in a year where the champion hurdle picture is so murky, Sharjah has the turn of foot. He's a terrific jumper. He mightn't just quite be good enough.
No.
But he's good enough to get himself into contention.
Yeah, could see him in the first 3, definitely. We mentioned Classical Dream running so badly. And then one last horse to mention is Eric Bloodaxe. Won the winner's bumper by 2.5 lengths from wide receiver and is now 10-1 for the champion bumper. Fine big horse.
An interesting point. I don't know if he'll go to champion bumper because I think they're thinking of him as a long-term project. But I spoke to Joseph O'Brien straight after the race, working for the Racing Post, and I said, Joseph, you've got all these beautiful bumper horses. So many of them have won over the last couple of weeks. Have you got a pecking order? Straight away he goes, well, to be honest, Eric Bloodaxe always stood out. He had no hesitation in telling me that Eric Bloodaxe was the best.
Because he's won a lot. He's won 8 or 10 bumpers in December. So
I thought it was interesting. But he could be more of a long-term stay and chase.
And the last thing I want to mention is Jerry Hannon's commentary in the Paddy Power. I loved it.
Roaring Bull!
It was great. Go and look at it on YouTube.
So that's your week that was?
That's the 4 days that was.
You couldn't be finished.
Finished.
Are you actually finished?
Finished.
Well, this is unbelievable, Upping The Ante viewers. Gavin has mentioned about 2,464 horses there. And he hasn't mentioned my 2 selections for this week's Up in the Ante. And they have ran in the last 4 days. And you haven't mentioned them.
Yeah, but I didn't mention the Welsh National because they won't win at Cheltenham either.
So you've missed out on 2 Cheltenham Festival winners this week.
Maybe.
Stay tuned to find out what they are. Now, Up in the Ante viewers, every week we preview one of the big races at the Cheltenham Festival. And this week we're going to incorporate the stat of the week into the JCB Triumph Hurdle preview. It's going to be an all-in-one, Gavin. These are Bet365 prices at the moment for the Triumph Hurdle. Goshen, All Mankind and Aspire Tower are your 7-1 co-favourites. It's 14-1 Micromanage, who I don't think is going to make the race. It's 14-1 Trushan. Cerebus is 16-1. Botox Has is 20-1. Beatbox are 20-1. And it is 25-1 bar. So Gavin, stat of the week this week, it is the Triumph Hurdle.
Yes, first thing to mention is that it used to be a terrible race for punters until I think 15 years ago when the Fred Winter started. And that took out a lot of the runners and made it a smaller field. So since then, 8 of the last 12 winners have been the top 3 in the betting, and 3 out of the last 5 were favourites. So it's actually now quite a decent race for punters, which is good. 5 of the last 12 winners ran in the Spring Juvenile Hurdle at Leopardstown. You'll be happy with that one, because Aspire Tower is probably going to go there. 11 of the 12 had won over hurdles. 5 of the last 12 winners won a graded hurdle. 8 of the last 12 were trained in the UK, which is good for me, the one I fancy. And 3 of the last 7 had a rating of 150 or more. So if you get one that's up there with a high rating going into it, great chance of winning.
Your favourite Triumph Hurdle winner of all time?
O'Connor.
O'Connor?
Yeah.
I'll have to go with Defy Desai.
Defy Desai, yeah.
Defy, yeah. Was a big fan of
We never
Defy.
got to see the best of O'Connor afterwards, but there you go.
No, we didn't. So let's deal with the market. At the moment, Goshen, All Mankind and Aspire Tower, 3 similar types.
Yes.
Very similar.
That's something that punters have to be aware of, is that the 3 of them have made the running when they've won. My own opinion is that All Mankind, no matter what, will make the running because he kind of has to. He's more free going, I think, than the other 2.
I'd take a bet with you there that Goshen would lead him to the first.
Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, we'll see. I'd say maybe Aspire Tower, Rachel will be happy enough to sit 3rd.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting.
Probably a little bit more flexible than the other 2, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the one thing about Aspire Tower is that he's still kind of running around a little bit, coming to his hurdles.
Green, very green,
Yeah.
So but is it natural?
The 3 of them are a bit quirky because Goshen, I don't think going left-handed will suit because he jumps out to his right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have to see. I think he's going to go to Cheltenham maybe beforehand. But the 3 of them are well clear in the betting, and it's probably right. Micromanage, you reckon, won't make the race?
No, a while ago now, probably 2 months ago, Willie just said he had a setback, but apparently was doing handstands in the gallops now. Okay. So it's a horse Micromanage. If Micromanage does happen to make the race, and it's often the case, the Triumph Hurdle winner, we mightn't see it till February. So if you did happen to see Micromanage in the lead up to Cheltenham, it would be very interesting.
Cerberus 16s, Botox Has 20s. They've both been beat by All Mankind, so I wouldn't like either of those.
Well, I think Botox Has is too big of a price.
He's
getting better.
He's jumping, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was much better at Cheltenham last time at the December meeting. I thought he won convincingly there, and I think he's quite professional. Where the others, you couldn't call any of the rest of them professional.
No, but they're mad 3-year-olds.
They're all just headbangers. Just get on with it. I want to race. Let me go. Yeah. They're all like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Botox As, I think, is just a little bit more manageable.
His jump on the first day wasn't great against All Mankind, but at the same time, in the last 100 yards, he wasn't closing the gap. So I think the one I'd go for is All Mankind.
And it's interesting with All Mankind, like they didn't want to run him in the race at Chepstow, and Dan Skelton said that, look, he was begging me to race. He was at home in the stable. I want to race. So he might thrive on racing.
Yeah, his jumping is good, and also maybe as time goes by, the more experience he gets, maybe he'll calm down a bit.
So it's All Mankind for you.
It is.
And it is Aspire Tower for me, but Botox Has each way. So Gavin, what Up in the Ante viewers want to know now is what's happening this week. And it's another very, very busy week. Like you kind of think when Christmas comes, there's going to be a bit of a lull, but there's not. New Year's Day, my wedding anniversary, might I add.
Don't forget.
Down to Fota Island for
like
2 nights. Yeah, you forgot your wedding anniversary, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I won't forget.
You going to Fota Island?
It's paper though. First anniversary is paper, so I'll just give her a page out of a copybook. That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on New Year's Day, of course, it is the Dipper at Cheltenham. And I know I'm excited about my wedding anniversary, which I am, obviously. Yeah. Nice hotel, remembering the great year that you've had. But I think I could be possibly even more excited about seeing Champ.
You're going to call him Champion the Wonder Horse instead of Champ.
Champ. At the moment, Champ is your 4-7 favourite with Bet365 for the Dipper. Midnight Shadow is 7-2. Champagne Court 6-1. Derrien de Carjac is 6-1. And Master Tommy Tucker, I don't think we're going to see again, is 8-1. It's 16-1 bar. Champ 4-7. As odds on shots go,
Wins.
This one is rock solid.
Rock solid, yeah.
I would put a 2 in front of that 7. I think it's a 2-7 shot, not a 4-7 shot.
Okay, no, he'll win.
He will win, and he will harden his favourite for the RSA.
But he's not the best horse on New Year's Day. Alboon Photo and Tremor.
Oh yeah, Alboon Photo, yeah. I
He's
almost forgot about him.
There you go.
And the Savills Chase, obviously we had a Savills Chase at Leopardstown. Now we've got a Savills Chase at Tremor on New Year's Day, and I'm guessing he's your selection.
He is, yeah. No, he'll win. 2 mile 5. He won it last year. But I think it's a good idea to give them like literally 1 or 2 runs, quiet runs, easy races, and then the Cheltenham Gold Cup. It worked for Best Mate. I'd say it could work again for Alboon Photo.
Like Jerry Hannon building up to a crescendo in the Gold Cup.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is at Tremor. And also at Cheltenham on New Year's Day, we've got the Relkeel Hurdle, which is a few chasers coming back over hurdles. Janika is currently Bet365 9-4 favourite. Top Notch 11-4 favourite, 11-4 second favourite. Emma Tom, an interesting horse, is 9-2. Might Bite, your previous Gold Cup runner-up and RSA winner, is 9-2. Roxana is 5-1. William Henry is 11-2. And Somerville Boy is 7-1. So these are all chasers, really.
Yeah, mix.
How are we even going to make head nor tail of this? Now, the one who I would be interested in at those prices is Roxana.
Okay.
She's the hurdler. She's won at Cheltenham. She's won a Mare's Hurdle, albeit she was very lucky with Benny Sedu's fall. But I just look at them and they're all chasers. It's all an afterthought. I'd imagine Dan Skelton has had this race penciled in for Roxana for quite a while. And to me, she's the hurdler. She's the one who knows how to hurdle. And for me, she's the most likely winner, Roxana.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a bet on it if you gave me a free bet.
Would you not?
No.
Okay. And obviously, we cannot wait for Naas on Sunday for the Lawlers of Naas Novice Hurdle when potentially the best horse in training is running. It is Envoy Allen. Gavin?
Yeah, first time over 2.5 as far as I'm aware. So yeah, he'll win. It's a grade 1, so he won't have it that easy. But you'd be very disappointed. He doesn't win by very far. He's a bit like Paisley Park, so he'll probably, as we said before, winning the Bridle by 2 lengths.
No, but he is one to really look forward to.
Yeah, no, I'd say there'll be a huge crowd in Naas. He's a great jumper. He's unbeaten. He's a great horse, yeah.
Yeah, and you have tipped him an 11-4 to win any race at Cheltenham Festival.
Yeah, and I keep praying that he's going to run the Ballymore. That's the one I've backed him to win, so let's hope that he stays 2.5, which he will on Sunday, and he'll be shorter again next week.
Absolutely. We've got the Tallworth, obviously, at Sandown on Saturday as well, another grade 1 race. So it is a big week on the racing front. Now, Gavin, I think it's about time we had a look at our ante-post tips so far, and what a week it has been for Upping The Ante viewers who took our big prices for some of our selections. Gavin, we'll let you go first. Obviously, a really, really good week for your portfolio.
Yeah, not too bad. What we got? A Plutarch 16s for the Ryanair, now I think 6-1 for the Ryanair.
10 points shorter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Time Hill's 14s for the Bartlett. I think he'll go there. He's 5s now for the Bartlett. 2 handicappers that I picked out were eye catches over the Christmas. I like the way you're thinking. I think we tipped up 25s now, 10s. Even 10s is a good price. I think it'll win the Martin Pipe. And Glenlow is another eye catcher in Limerick. That's 10s for any race. I think it's still 8s, and I think that's still probably a good price.
Those 2 horses poked my eye so hard it hurts.
So I think they've got a good chance. But yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, excellent. And I have to say, I have to gloat. I have to gloat.
You're right.
Sharjah, 33-1 for the Champion Hurdle. Now 7-1 with Bet365. Aspire Tower, 20-1 tipped up on this show. Now 7-1 co-favourite for the Triumph Hurdle with Bet365. Fury Road, 16-1 tipped up Fury Road. Yes, very nice. And of course, you've got the likes of Min and others who have shortened. So Upping The Ante viewers, it is worth your while watching the show every week because there is serious value to be had, Gavin.
There is. Obviously, that's the risk of ante-post, but yeah.
So stay tuned to find out what we're tipping this week. Now, Upping The Ante viewers, it is time for the most important part of the show. Yes, it is our latest instalment of ante-post picks for the 2020 Cheltenham Festival. And I've got 2 this week because I have to catch up on Gavin. I have a bit of catching up to do because he's tipped more horses than me. So my 2 this week are from nowhere. They haven't even been mentioned.
Left field.
They haven't even been mentioned on the show so far, and they've ran in the last 4 days, and Gavin hasn't even mentioned them. So we're going to keep you on the edge of your seat, and we're going to let Gavin go first this week.
I'm going to go for All Mankind in the Triumph Hurdle at 7-1. He's now 3 from 3. He was an okay flat horse. One thing to say that people might think he might need soft ground because he won at Chepstow, but he actually won in Chelmsford. He has to make the run. They tried to hold him up one day in the flat in Newmarket. Didn't work. He blew his brains out. So he won very easy in Warwick. He won very well in Cheltenham from Botox Has. And the third horse, Repetitio. The two of them have won since. And then the other day it beat Cerberus very easily in Chepstow. I think it'll make the running. As we mentioned before, that Aspire Tower and Goshen, they like to be up there as well. But I think this fella will make the running. He jumps well. You might think that he's in trouble as the turn end and then he just stays on again.
Like he has stamina. He has proper stamina.
He does. Like Cerberus came there 2 out, you thought, oh, he might be in trouble. Or even Botox Has come to the last. But each time he just kicks on again. The new track will suit him. It's a stayers track. It's a 2 mile one race, I think, the Triumph. So, yeah, I think 7-1 All Mankind. Now, I have backed Aspire Tower a couple of weeks ago. So I think if you have those two on your side, I think you won't go wrong.
Yeah. And are you just a little bit afraid of this speed duel up front?
I would be a bit, but I think this fella will lead. Because I think if the others try to take him on, he'll just keep going. He has to lead.
Okay. And at the moment, 7-1 with Bet365, you think that's...
I do. Fine? I think that outside the top 3, you're talking the guts of 20-1 bar. But I think this fella is very good. Yeah,
and as you said earlier in the show, with your stat of the week, it is a race that favours the horses that have gone and done it, that have earned their rating.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the form seems to stand up.
Yeah, and they definitely need to stay. That's the crucial part. I'd be very afraid of Aspire Tower, but yeah, All Mankind for me.
All Mankind for Gavin Lynch. 7-1 with Bet365 for the JCB Triumph Hurdle. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now, I'm not sure you're going to like this.
Okay.
I'm not sure you're going to like it because you haven't even mentioned him so far. So my first tip of the week is in the Supreme Novice Hurdle, the race that starts the best 4 days of the year. And it is Mr. Coffee, Gavin. Have you ever heard of that horse, Gavin?
I have. I looked him up because he told me an hour ago.
Mr. Coffee won the opening race on the second race, the Novice Hurdle, on the 29th of December at Newbury. And every so often, I kind of watch a horse during a race and it just catches my attention. And the whole way through that race, I thought Nico de Boinville was just trying to mind Mr. Coffee.
His jumping down the back was a little bit sketchy, but it was his first
a
run
little bit
over
sketchy. He's a big, imposing sort, but he's got loads of speed. And I thought the whole way through that race, he was just trying to mind him. Then up the home straight, loved his jumping, loved the way he got himself into the race, possibly challenged on the unfavoured part of the track down the inside. And there's a bit of substance to the form, because I think On to Victory he got to 3 figures in the flat, ran his race. The second horse, I think, is not a bad horse either. Now, this is, obviously, we're taking a big chance here. It's 33-1 Bet365. We've only seen the horse once. I was impressed when it won a bumper at Huntingdon for Harry Wedgington. It was actually sold for
340 grand after that.
Yes, and I just think when I go through the Supreme market, I was scratching my head and I said, Abercrombie is 7-2 favourite. There must be value here somewhere. Willie doesn't really have anything of note as of yet. Maybe he's going to come out with some French thing. We don't know. But I watched that race, and after the race, Nicky Henderson said he's the potential to be a spectacular horse. He loves him. He says he's going to have to try and mind him. But I think sometimes your hand is forced in these situations. You're only a novice for 1 year. The Supreme is there. It's a wide open Supreme. Mr. Coffee is 33-1, and I think he could be a superstar.
Okay, he'd want to run at least once more before Cheltenham, at least just for his hurdling experience. But yeah, he's definitely a horse with huge potential, Yeah,
Mr. Coffee, 33-1 for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Now, Gavin, that was from nowhere, right? This one is a little bit more predictable, I would say.
A bit more, yeah.
It's in the Marsh Novice Chase, formerly known as the JLT, and it is a horse called Itchy Feet. See what I did there?
I did,
Scratch me feet,
Right.
Itchy Feet, 20-1 with Bet365 for the Marsh Chase. Now, Itchy Feet ran a cracker to finish third in Supreme last year. Don't think conditions were really ideal. The race didn't really work out. But he was 1-5 to win a 3-runner race at Leicester. Nobody really paid any attention, You've got Sharjah was running at the time. You know, there was racing all over the place. There was grade 1s at Leopardstown. And Leicester was kind of forgotten about.
Yep.
Well, that night, I sat down and I was blown away.
Really?
Now, he beat a horse that was rated just over 100. Nothing really deserved to do what he did. But just to jump and land it running, seemed to meet every fence, maybe apart from the second last, on the perfect stride. And interesting, listening to Ollie Murphy after the race, says we're going to stick to 2.5 miles, so he's not going to go for the Arkle. Faheen is favourite for the JLT, as it was known. You've got Champas in the market. You've got so many horses that are not going to run in this race. And now you've got Itchy Feet, who Ollie Murphy has said is going to stick to 2.5 miles, who jumped brilliantly, who's got the class to finish third in the Supreme. I was surprised it wasn't shorter than 20-1 after the race.
Yeah, it certainly jumped very well. Just to explain betting that if you have €10 or £10 sterling on Itchy Feet at 20 to 1 to win the Marsh Novice Chase, that means you lose £10.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's ridiculing my selection.
That's not.
You're delighted with yourself now. Look, you're going home happy. Yeah, I made fun of David Jennings. Well, I think you could regret that statement. I think when we're watching clips back of the show after the Cheltenham Festival, I think that's one clip that could be shown.
Okay.
You don't fancy Itchy Feet at all?
Look, it has an outside chance. I'm only messing.
No, you're not. You're
but
serious.
It jumped very well, but has a lot more to prove. It'll probably run the graded chase, presumably in a month's time. But
yeah, but
the Marsh Chase is all over the place. It's hard to know what's going to run at the moment.
But this, I think, where you see the different personalities between us. You're going for a co-favourite and trying for I'm trying to find something that's 33 to 1, 20 to 1. Mm-hmm. I suppose that's why you're successful and I'm not.
No, he'd have a chance.
Okay, so Itchy Feet and Mr. Coffee are my two latest selections for the 2020 Cheltenham Festival. So there we go, folks. That has been a jam-packed episode 9 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch. We've reviewed all the Christmas action, but there's so much more to look forward to. And don't forget to join us, same time, same place, next week.